All right, Tommy Retro here. We got a little different situation than usual. I've been wanting a fire truck for a long time, and I always thought, well, when the right one comes along, we'll go ahead and make a deal on it and bring one home. And you know what? The time is now. So I just picked up this 1974 Ford C800 fire truck. It's got a 391 V8, 5-speed manual transmission. Came from Dora Township Fire District. This was at the Lake City, Illinois station. Lived its whole life in Lake City. Really nice cab. This truck's only got 6,000 miles on the odometer, but you can see it's got the 5-speed manual transmission, got a split rear end. Really cruises down the highway nice at about 2,600 RPMs, does about 45 miles per hour. So you're not gonna set any speed records. We'll just take a quick walk around. I don't know a whole lot about fire engines, so please, if you know about them, post in the comments. It's got dual hose reels up top. I believe it holds 600 gallons, and it does have a valid pump test. These are actually the original bias ply tires on this thing. Again, 6,000 miles. That set of duals is in really good shape. The other side's chunking and starting to delaminate a little bit, so definitely time was not as kind to the driver's side. But you can see we've got a lot of equipment still left on this rig. Just happy as all get out. I've been looking for something like this, and it's to have something in 1974 and still be fire district fresh is just amazing. Howe Fire Apparatus, Anderson, Indiana. So like I say, I got a lot to learn about this and how everything works, because I'll be honest with you, I don't have a clue. I really don't. You know, there's the pump and all that stuff, so I got to make sure too before winter time that I go through this thing and make sure that the water's drained out of it so it doesn't freeze, you know, and read up on that. So again, I look forward to your comments, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you inside the cab here again. Really nice. Just really nice. I like the red interior, the red paint, headliner, the white and gray vinyl seats. I mean, it's just super nice condition. Again, you can see that we just rolled 6,000. We picked it up with like 5,800 miles on it, 57 and change, and just rolled 6,000 miles. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Rides nice down the road, powerful, pleasure to drive. I'm going to show you some driving clips from the way home. We are northbound and down Route 47, coming through the town of Dwight. We just had probably some of the best pizza south of I-80 over at Dwight Pizza. But we're halfway through our adventure back to the home base. About 200 miles out, we picked up this fire truck. It's a 1974 Ford. And it's I think what you call a C800 cab over. We're about 100 miles in, so about halfway point is about Dwight. So we just had what you call like a late dinner, or early dinner, late lunch, and we got about 100 miles to go. We started driving back. It was nice and sunny, and we just got hit with a big line of storms. It got pretty hairy. Honey, wasn't it a little stormy?
Yeah.
Yeah, hindsight 2020 What's your favorite part about the fire truck?
Riding it.
You like riding in it? Well, it's got a big cab, doesn't it? There's a huge bench seat in here. You could have 3 big guys and have plenty of, guys with gear on or whatever the case may be. But you'd have plenty of room in here. Visibility on these C-Series cabs is amazing. You can see why they use this design from 1957 all the way up to the 90s. It's an outstanding design, and definitely see why they use it. You see a lot of stuff, garbage trucks, a lot of stuff used as, especially for tight areas, cities and all of that. You see a lot of these trucks. So that was a great opportunity. We just came through heavy thunderstorms, tornado warnings. Just grabbed some pizza. Now we're doing the final leg home. Got a vent right in the middle. It's blowing on our legs, nice and cool. It's got the big old school vent windows, so we're getting plenty of airflow here in the camp. Feels good. Feels really, really good. Earl is running blocker with the squad behind us. Look at the squad down there. Picking her up. Here we go. So nice to do a short trip every now and then. And so we're taking the day trip. Let's see, what would that be? 400 miles round trip. That's nothing for us. So we're enjoying it. We ought to be home in a little over a couple hours. Heading up 47 at 45 miles per hour. All right, we are coming home, coming down the literal home stretch here. Probably got about, I don't know, not even 10 miles to go probably. But thought we'd do a little shifted action here because you didn't get to see that earlier. Now, first is a straight cut gear, non-synchro, so I'm not going to go into it. But we'll go ahead and start her in high split second. A lot of slack in the linkage. That was not this fire truck. That was somebody making it right.
That's like a bus.
Yep, shifts just like a bus. Get it up to about 2,700. And it's synchronized gears, but you gotta wait for the engine to match the transmission, and it sinks right in. Pressure on the stick. Clutch. Drops right in like butter. No speed shift in this one, got a linkage a mile long. But she rides and drives good. We got about 200 miles down, coming down the home stretch here. She's doing great. Doing great. Does about, or gets about 7 miles of the gallon of fuel. Well, that's not bad. 391 V8. We're empty. We don't have any water. So she does all right. Nice unit. Very, very happy. We're gonna pull her over to the side up here in a little bit. We'll let Earl take a drive. But again, I can see why they like this cab design. Great visibility. If it works, why change it? Beautiful end to a nice day. Probably about 70, probably what do you say, Mom? Probably about 75 degrees? Yeah, I'm thinking so. Alright, we're coming into Greenwood. We're going to change drivers. We can have Earl drive. Here we go. Alright, we just rolled out of Greenwood. Earl is behind the controls of the 74. What do you call this, a C800?
Yes.
Alright, C800 fire truck. Again, 391 Ford V8. Got a 5-speed tranny. See there with the split rear end. She's running out pretty good. Coming down the home stretch. Got to be within the last 10 miles now. Great visibility out of this truck.
Oh yeah.
You can see why they kept this cab design from 1957 through the 90s with some minor upgrades, you know. It works well. at the back, you can see the controls back there, pump controls. If it would have had a deck gun, it would have been up on top of that deck right there. But you see the 2 hose reels with automatic retraction. Parking brake on these things.
It's nice being right up here.
Yeah, you're not going to forget and leave it on or nothing. It's right in your face. Yeah, she definitely, something I've noticed too, Earl, when you go to pull her out of gear, sometimes you got to give her a little jerk and use the slack in the linkage, and that helps get her out. Now it's really easy to want to start it in 4th again, so that's why I pull. That's why I pull it all the way over to the left before you hit that spring. Yep, there you go. You got her in the middle now. Take her all the way to the left.
There she goes.
Perfect. Yeah, what was it, back in Huntley, I think it was, or no, it was in Woodstock. I started her in 4th gear.
Oh, I was wondering what you were doing.
Now take her up. She likes about 2,700. And get that pressure on the stick. Oh yeah. Like butter, right? Ain't no speed shift in this one.
Oh,
Nice work. Yeah, nothing like these old gassers. Just a pleasure to drive. So there's a little clip of some more driving the 1974 Ford fire truck. All right, the sun is starting to go down. I love this time of year. The days are so long. We were able to leave out at first light, go down there, acquire the truck, bring it back, 400 plus miles round trip. Had a nice breakfast stop, had a nice kind of what I'm calling a dunch stop. It was kind of between dinner and lunch. On the way back. Real pleasant ride for us, right down the state of Illinois down there. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I'm learning too. You know, this is the first fire truck that I've ever had. If you know about these trucks and want to share, just go ahead and post in the comments. I appreciate everything. I enjoy reading your comments. I don't get to respond to all of them, but I really do appreciate your comments and your likes on these videos. All right, thank you for watching. Tommy Retro here. Have a good rest of your day or night.